Russia sank a neutrino observatory into the world's deepest lake. Over the weekend, March 15, 2021, Russian scientists lowered a series of detectors between 2,500 and 4,300 feet below the surface of Lake Baikal. These sensors from the Baikal Gigaton Volume Detector, the largest underwater space telescope in the northern hemisphere, will help scientists study neutrinos. While they are one of the most abundant particles in the universe, neutrinos are also the smallest currently known to humans. They can also travel great distances without interacting with any other forms of matter. Those factors make them difficult to detect and study, but they can teach us a lot about the history of the universe. And there's much more. So, this is what the video is going to begin about, and it's got a lot more to it. And I'm going to link all these articles below. And I will go ahead and just tell you a little bit more about this region in Russia in 2021 and the Baikal Gigaton Volume Detector, the deep underwater neutrino telescope built on Lake Baikal, the IceCube detection of a high energy particle, anti-neutrino, unmistakably of extraterrestrial origin. The South Pole neutrino detector saw a glasshouse resonance event, a phenomenon predicted by Nobel laureate physicist Sheldon Glashow in 1960, where an electron antineutrino and an electron interact to produce a W boson. On December 6, 2016, a high-energy particle called an electron antineutrino hurtled to Earth from outer space at close to the speed of light, carrying 6.3 petroelectrovolts of energy. Deep inside the ice sheet of the South Pole, it smashed into an electron and produced a particle that quickly decayed into a shower of secondary particles. This interaction was captured by a massive telescope buried in the Antarctic glacier, the IceCube Neutrino Observatory. The IceCube had seen a glasshouse resonance event, a phenomena predicted by Nobel laureate physicist Sheldon Glashow in 1960. With the detection, scientists provided another confirmation of the standard model of the particle physics. It also further demonstrated the ability of IceCube, which detects nearly massless particles called neutrinos using thousands of sensors embedded into the Antarctic ice to do fundamental physics. Now, why are neutrinos so important? This is the question we should be asking, and we do not see it on the media with all the distractions, with us keeping our heads buried basically in the sand or in our phones or wherever you want to say your head is at. It's not where they are putting their minds and thoughts into. And this technology is good and can be, of course, in the wrong hands, very, very bad. However, the mystery of Antarctica and Admiral Byrd and Hollow Earth and all of the different things from Groom Lake to, you've heard me say it, if you're new here, I'm glad you are, but if you're not new here, you know how I'm fascinated by the deep underground marine bases and the deep underground military bases and what is going on. Ever since Sunspot Observatory has been closed and my other two videos I did on communications before we had the big cyber hack on solar wind, I tried expressing how important it was that we understand how to contact one another and understand this technology, because it can be really great. In the right hands, we can do really good things, but we need to understand what they're doing and how and why they've been doing it for so long. Alien microorganism research shows humans and other mammals could struggle to fight space germs. And side tech daily. The immune system of mammals, including humans, might struggle to detect and respond to germs from other planets, new research suggests. Microorganisms, such as bacteria and viruses, could exist beyond Earth. Plans to search for signs of them on Mars and Saturn and Jupiter's moons. These organisms might be based on different amino acids and key building blocks of all life than life forms on Earth. The response to these alien peptides was less efficient than the reaction to those common on Earth. This study, conducted on mice whose immune cells function in a similar way to those of humans, suggests extraterrestrial microorganisms could pose a threat to space missions and on Earth if they were brought back. The world is now only too aware of the immune challenge posed by the emergence of the brand new pathogens. As a thought experiment, we wondered what would happen if we were to be exposed to a microorganism that had been retrieved from another planet or moon where life had evolved. Some very unusual organic building blocks exist outside planet Earth, and these could be used to make up the cells of such alien microbes. Would our immune system be able to detect proteins made from these non-terrestrial building blocks in such organisms? Well, they were discovered and they were brought back to Earth, and they accidentally escaped. Our paper addresses the hypothetical event by a scientist at the MRC Center of Medical Mycology, which moved from Aberdeen to Exeter last year. Researchers examined the reaction of T cells, which are key to immune responses to peptides containing amino acids commonly found in meteorites. Life on Earth relies on essential 22 amino acids. We therefore speculate that contact with extraterrestrial microorganisms might pose an immunological risk for space missions aiming to retrieve organisms from exoplanets and moons. The discovery of liquid water at several locations in the solar system raises the possibility that the microbial life may have evolved outside Earth and could therefore be accidentally introduced into the Earth's ecosystem. A weakened immune response to synthetic exopeptides predicts a potential biosecurity risk in the retrieval of exomicroorganisms. So why care about neutrinos anyways, right? Well, I found this article. It's back from 2013, and I'm still looking for the answer as well. I know there's a lot of answers out there, but I want to know more. And I found this to be interesting. It says neutrinos, mutating viruses, and more. The South Pole High Energy Neutrino Detector, a new race to Earth's end. The most remote point in the Arctic Ocean, known as the North Pole, inaccessibility, has been misidentified for years. It's true. Location, 1,008 kilometers from the presumed spot. It is published behind a paywall in Polar Record. Scientists observe space hurricanes swirling above Earth for the first time. The storm in upper atmosphere created by charged particles, solar wind. Now we also have what happened lately? The biggest cyber attack ever by who? It talks about this atmosphere created by the charged particles, the solar wind. And the scientists have long suspected conditions in space could create storm-like conditions above Earth, but now they have picture proof of what researchers are calling plasma space hurricane. The authors of a new paper published this week in Nature Communications, and as you know, if you haven't seen my communication videos, I tried saying what I wanted to say very carefully in both those videos, and I'll link them below. They go on to say that the Nature Communications have the first observations of swirling mass of plasma above the North Pole resembling a hurricane. Using satellite imagery, the space storms above Earth are created when solar wind from the sun smacks into Earth's atmosphere. Tropical storms are associated with huge amounts of energy, and these space hurricanes must be created by unusually large and rapid transfer of solar wind energy and charged particles into the Earth's upper atmosphere. Now, another segue. Think about space junk and how many things are going into space, how many rockets and everything with Elon, and so much going on up there. We have so much space junk. How can we're already polluting the planet, and think about what else we are polluting. What makes this find so special is that the hurricanes have also been observed in the lower atmosphere of Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. But the existence of space hurricanes in the upper atmosphere of planets has not been detected before. The solar wind is a stream of charged particles. Now, this is also going back into the neutrinos and what they're doing to hunt them. They are seriously hunting neutrinos. That is a thing. And they emanate from the corona of the sun's atmosphere. The particles travel in all directions and interact with anything they encounter, even Earth. Thankfully, our planet has a shield of a magnetosphere. If it wasn't for this magnetosphere, the Earth would be in big trouble. Instead, the solar wind is deflected safely away and continues on its journey through space. And if there was no magnetic field, harmful radiation would be carried by the solar wind and would make it to the surface, threatening life. The particles that don't get deflected into space are guided toward the north and south poles, and those particles then interact with the gases in our atmosphere, causing those gases to move into a higher energy state, producing vibrant displays of light, like the auroras, also known as the northern and southern lights. And lately they've been saying that you can see these lights, the northern and southern auroras, more than ever before. So the auroral oval is the footprint in the atmosphere of the boundary between the highly stretched field lines of the polar cap and the more normal field lines at lower latitudes. When the solar wind is strong, this boundary moves closer to the equator, and the auroral oval typically clings close to the poles. But space hurricanes occur even closer to the pole. So I hope you found this interesting. I have a lot more that I want to go into on this, but I'll just make this a quick little video so I can get something out to you and let you know that I miss you, I thank you, and remember, never underestimate the power of kindness. Please be kind, and I hope someone's kind to you. And I look forward to going live very soon. And once again, have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or wherever you're at, whatever time it is, or whenever you see this.